Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video, getting you caught up on everything happening as we head into the middle of the week here on Wednesday. And we have got an event that was officially announced behind the scenes coming up for this weekend that I may actually want to YOLO for, because I think it is going to make a lot of sense for my account and maybe for a lot of you out there as well. So we'll talk about the pros and the cons of the summoning event coming up this weekend, and then we'll also get you full context and everything happening in game and in the community. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we have gotten word from Plarium that this weekend there is going to be a 2x event for Ancient Shards, and then double dipping with this 2x event for Ancient Shards on the first couple days is going to be a 10x for Teodor the Savant. Now, Teodor Savant is an absolutely amazing legendary. He kind of fills a special role where he'll fit into like some of those solo dungeon grinding teams where you can bring food along as well and be able to do it super efficiently because of all the poisons and utility that he brings. He's got a really cool A1 that does decrease speed, and he scales with defense, so he's a little bit more tanky. Plus the A3 right here is going to not only place poisons, but also poison sensitivity on an AoE, which is super rare in Raid. And he's going to get an increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. And then on the A3 right here, he's going to increase the duration of all poisons and HP burns. Then he'll instantly activate them on each enemy, and he'll do a weaken debuff for 2 turns on enemies that are not under a poison or an HP burn. And the cool thing about his kit, I always love this, is he's got a nice rotation where both abilities are a 3-turn cooldown when booked, so he's going to cycle through very nicely. And then his passive here will give him a little bit more resistance for each poison on the enemy team. He's got great base stats, 21,000 HP, almost 1,200 defense, 105 base speed, 30 and 20 for res and accuracy. So Teodor, very, very cool champion. Lots of cool ways that you can play around with him on your account, and lots of really cool and interesting teams that he can slot into. And as you can see right above my head right here, Teodor is grayed out. I do not have Teodor. Now, in terms of non-void legendaries that I don't have, Teodor may honestly be #1 on the list because I've been playing for 4 years at this point. I'm lucky enough to have some of those top tier non-void champions like Duchess and Kymar, for example, but I do not have Teodor. So out of all the champions I don't have who can come from Ancient Shards, Teodor may honestly be absolutely #1 on the list. But before you get too excited to YOLO all of your Ancient Shards this weekend, I do want to give you the caveat that we're probably going to hear what the next Fragment or Fusion champion is going to be very soon from Plarium, within probably the next 2 weeks or so. So if it ends up being somebody like a Python or a Nishok, then if you YOLO'd all of your Ancients during the 2x and the 10x for Teodor, you may end up in a situation where it's going to be difficult for you to do the champion chase and summon rush events that may coincide with a hyped up champion. I mean, we don't know if it's going to be hyped up or not. It may be trash, it may be undesirable, or it could be a really good one like we saw with Python recently. So depending on you and your account, I want you to weigh all these options accordingly, but I may YOLO this weekend until I get a legendary or 2 just to see if I can add a Teodor to my account because I really want him that bad. But another thing I want to make sure to mention all of you is to keep your expectations tempered a little bit, because 10x events are honestly pretty bad for non-void champions. There's just too many non-void legendaries in the game, and this was actually brought up in Scratch's interview with Cirilla recently, and to Plarium's credit, Cirilla did say they're looking to address some of the concerns around the 10x events, because when Raid was released as a game, it had about half the champions, actually less than half of the champions that it has now. So the 10x events were basically like what a 20x would be right now today. So it's time to evolve the 10x events with the times and probably bump those up to like a 25x or something instead of a 10x so that it can stay consistent. Now, they may leave voids at 10x or something because voids are a lot less legendaries than the non-voids, obviously, because you have the 1 affinity instead of the 3 affinities. But either way, I just want to let you know, because there's so many legendaries in the game that even if you do pull a legendary during a 10x event, it's still not likely you're going to get the champion. It's just a lot more likely than normal. So I almost wish they would have just done a guaranteed summon event for Teodor, but alas, they're going to do a 10x, so my odds of getting Teodor, even if I pull a legendary or 2, is probably going to be somewhere between like 5 and 8%, but that's what we have to do. We have to put ourselves in the RNG grinder over time and just hope that it works in our favor eventually. Then for some of the noteworthy stuff happening in game, you will see that we do have a Soul Chase tournament, which is a very, very new mechanic to the game. Now, I was going to do a dedicated video and discussion about this because I think it may be time for us to start saving soul stones and essence and stuff around the blessings and awakening mechanic, because we did get confirmation recently that Plarium is going to start implementing some of this stuff into CVC and also start doing special events like 2Xs or ways to get more consistent value out of your stones and your awakening and all of that. So you have to kind of look at where you're at on your account and decide if it's worth it to try and get like 400 points for a Void Shard and stuff like that. And you do get the 1500 up here for a Sacred. But I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive discussion on the optimal strategy of managing some of our soul stones, because we did get a lot of news regarding that in the last week or so. You also have an Ice Golem tournament. Might be worth getting 1525 for the 750 coins. Just kind of depends on your energy and where you want to spend it, but it's not the worst thing you could do right there, because under the events tab, we really don't have something besides the Ice Golem going on, but there is a Path of Light event revolving around developing some of your champions and kind of getting artifacts. So no matter what one you're doing, you should be able to get a little bit of points there in the Path of Light. And then, of course, they've got this summon rush going on right here that is going to be ending before I'm going to want to YOLO all my shards during the 2X Ancients with Teodor. So hopefully this weekend they release some sort of summon rush event that has a little bit of goodies to double dip for those of you that are wanting to pull for Teodor the Savant. And I will host a poll over on the community tab of the channel. If you want to head over there, I will ask the community if you plan on pulling for Teodor or not this weekend. Which, speaking of the polls that I love to do over on the community tab, because it helps me keep a pulse of how the community is feeling, we actually have some divisive opinions going on about Plarium announcing they're going to be adding the protection and the stone skin accessories to the game. You can see that now we're going to be able to get a 9-piece stone skin build on the champions to head into the arena, and the community is split pretty close to 50-50 on thinking if they like or dislike these stone skin accessories being added to the game. So maybe worth a deep dive discussion at some point here soon as well. So, okay, is there anything worth talking about in the shop? The Litecoin pack, okay, we know the drill there. The Shard triple pack. Now, in terms of Plarium's prices with Sacred Shards, this is technically above average, but I don't think this is worth this. I don't think this is like a good value in my personal opinion. But if you're just looking for the straight up comparison to Plarium's rates, this is probably technically slightly above average. Soulstone, I don't know. Monthly mini. Okay, so this looks like a different version of the mini mix pack where we're getting soul stones. I haven't seen them do one like that, so I do want to plug this in. So the price is 3, the silver is 30k. We've got the 5 XP brews, the 1 classic refill right there, 1 energy refill right there, and a key. I mean, I don't know, we'll call that 50 gems. Mortal soul stone is gonna go right there. And then the rank 4 chicken, we're going to put right here. And a day of XP going right there. So it looks like basically the same, except for a mortal soulstone instead of an ancient shard. And it grades out as a 1.38. So in terms of value compared to what we typically see in the shop from Plarium, at 1.38 is pretty solid. But I do want to see, them do the 100% mini mix pack on this version of it, where you would get like the 2 soul stones and the 2 chicken and the 2 energy refills and all of that, because that one would probably be approaching like a 2.5 in value, and that would really be the offers that I like. But this one is almost a 1.4. So for those of you that are kind of like in the upper low to middle tier of spending, this one would be worth considering. And then we've got the Soulstone deal. This looks like just the normal prices, so an average offer there. And then I thought I saw a Fury set. Did that disappear? I'm gonna have to go back, and I thought I saw Fury on there, or maybe I'm losing it, but I thought I saw Fury and then it disappeared. This looks like just the normal prices, so an average offer there. And then I thought I saw a Fury set. Did that disappear? Huh. Okay, well, either way, the most notable thing in the shop today is probably this mini mix pack with a Mortal Soulstone. That is a decent offer. And why not? We're recording a video while the live arena is going on, so I will head on in and venture into a match, and we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so we've got to pick first. Not really. Let's go there. Go with the Marichka. And see what they are able to do here. They've got to pick two. Are they going to go defensive or speed nuke style? They're going to go speed nuke style. Arbiter, Rotos. Rotos opens the door. They may go with like a Siphi, like Arbiter, Siphi as their two supports. I'm going to save the Torment pick for 4th. I'm going to need to be able to remove buffs. So let's go with that. And then they don't have an AoE damage dealer. So Duchess, maybe not, but I'm still going to go with Duchess right there. Because they may bring in their second DPSer as an AoE, like a Baron or something. Or a Trunda or whatever. If they're going nuke with the Arbiter. I'm guessing they're going to pick Siphi as their second support. It looks like they have Blessings and stuff. No, Little Miss Annie. And, oh, okay, so they're going Arbiter Python. And then their last damage dealer. It may be Mortem Macabre, honestly. If they're Mortem Macabre or like or an A. No, they've got Little Miss Annie there, so they're going double single target. Double single target. They don't have a well. With Arbiter, I'm gonna go Torment to scare them a little bit, and then in the flex spot, I don't really want to go Spirit with Mortu, but he's a little bit tankier. They've got single target. Why not? Let's go with UDK and let's see if we can bleed them out. And they're taking the whole time. They are super confused. They're probably like, what is going on here? They went with Helicath. I'm gonna take down Python. I don't want the cleansing going on. I'll do that. I should have enough tankiness to yeah, and they take down the buff strip. Okay, so let's see how it goes. See if we can't whittle down with the strategy. This fight will probably take like 6 or 7 minutes, honestly. And I don't know, are we going to be able to chew through it here? We're going to have to slowly whittle down that Arbiter and just kind of slowly pick them off one by one. And once I get the Arbiter down, I feel pretty confident I can manage the rest. And I should have enough buff strip from the Torment to remove the things like block damage. So we'll see. But they got like the shielding coming through and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do enough damage. It is going to be a war of attrition. Come on, we're so close. Get the Arbiter. Got the Arbiter. Are we going to do it? We got the... They got nothing but damage here. We probably just want to kind of target whoever. We can get the Rotos down while he's stunned and chop away enough. We got the provoke, huge, and we had the provoke on the Helicast, so they didn't get the block damage off, and we will take the Rotos down. And then at that point, it is done. And we actually did this a lot faster than I thought. We didn't even need to bring a damage dealer. We went defense. We were able to chew through the Arbiter. They didn't have enough support or heals in the team, and I took down the Python, which ended up being a good decision because then they had a lot less sustain and toughness on the team, and even with no like hard damage dealer, was able to take it down in what, like 2 minutes. That went a lot better than expected. So good luck this weekend if you're going to be pulling for Teodor the Savant. Like I said, I will host a poll over on the community tab so you can voice your opinion and see how other people are feeling in the community. And remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I will see you soon in the next video. Appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.